Hi, welcome back to the Needling Hooker. I'm Tom, and before I get into anything else, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone out there who not only has subscribed to my new channel. I thank you and I really appreciate that, and I look forward to having you with me on each and every future video, tutorials, book reviews, and some other special things we're going to be doing. I would like to say thank you also for all the views on the first welcome video. I really appreciate that. And all the thumbs up. Hey, I thank you again. I can't thank you enough. YouTube, I'm not new to, but having my own YouTube channel is kind of new to me. But we're going to have fun with it, and we're going to just see where it goes. Anyway, not much has gone on during the last week and a half. I'm still in the middle of editing the next couple of videos, but I did want to throw this together quickly to say thank you to everyone, and just to kind of share a couple of things, and a trip that I made to Joann's the other day. And then shortly the next full-on video will be out, and I haven't decided yet. I've got two I'm editing, so I haven't decided whether it's going to be a book review or it's going to be the first tutorial. I'm working on both of those, so we'll see. It'll be a surprise. Anyway, I hope you'll all tune in. I'll welcome you back each and every time. And let's see, something I would like to share with everybody that I was very, very appreciative of and very grateful for. In my first video, the welcoming video that most of you have seen, you remember I gave shout outs to a lot of my fellow crocheters and knitters that I follow on YouTube. Joyce Pageant of Jay's Knit and Pearl Jam, if you remember the shout out I gave to her, I'm very grateful and very, very appreciative and very blessed that she worked up a 6-minute video put together with a bunch of pictures I had sent her of a lot of my work, and some of which are her designs that I did, and some of my original designs, to help launch and promote my new YouTube channel, as well as help to launch and promote my new Etsy shop. So for those of you, a lot of you have seen the video. It's on her channel, Jay's Knit and Pearl Jam, and the title of the video is Thank You, Tom Walker. It's 6 minutes long. It's a wonderful video, and for those of you who haven't seen it, go and check it out if you would like to, and that'll give you a chance, if you haven't been to Jay's channel yet, to check her out, and let me know what you think. I think the video came out very well, and again, I say thank you, Jay. Amazing. You did an amazing job. Of course, all your videos are amazing, and they just keep inspiring me. And let's see, and I just think she's amazing. In the video, right below it, in the description section, she's put a link to my YouTube page. Once you go to my YouTube page and go to the About Me section, at the very bottom of the About Me section is a direct link to my Etsy shop, The Needling Hooker. So go and check that out. I hope you do. Feel free to leave comments for me, like I said in the last video. Any suggestions from all of you seasoned video vloggers out there, knitters and crocheters I'm mostly referring to, but anybody that vlogs on YouTube, any suggestions, I welcome, because though I'm not new to filming and video and editing and all of that, I am new to being on YouTube. So I want to give you the best quality. I want to give you the best that I can give you as my followers, because I appreciate you, I welcome you, and I want you to have a fun and adventurous experience each and every time you tune into the Needling Hook. Some of you may be wondering what happened to me after a week and a half. The first video came out and then there was nothing. Well, as I said, I'm in the process of editing another couple of videos, so a couple of book reviews, a couple of tutorials, and so I'm putting those together, so I'll have a few to launch at the same time to get things going. And in the meantime, I went up to Joann's just to look around, something to do, get out of the house, and which I think we're all doing with COVID, trying to find ways to get out of the house. Anyway, I looked on my phone first to see if they had anything going on, any specials, any coupons, because hey, if you're like me, Joann's and Hobby Lobby and Michael's, we shop when we have coupons, because it's the only way to go, right? Am I right? Coupons. So anyway, Joann's had a 60% off coupon, and I said, oh, good, I'm gonna go shopping. There's probably nothing that I need, because I've got a big yarn stash, so I don't really need any yarn at the moment, but let's see what they might have, something that, you know, I need or that I want. So I get in the car and I go up there, and of course it's a good thing I didn't need any yarn, because as everybody knows, most of the time when any of the stores have a coupon of a good percentage, 50, 60, sometimes 75, off a regular price item, never includes sale items, and the yarn's always on sale. So you can never really use the coupon with most of the brands of yarn that you use. And I'm going to share that little clip with you. I did, however, once I got in the store, for the respect and the privacy of the other customers in the store and employees, etc., of Joann's, I will not have the audio for that. So I will have some nice background music for you. But you can kind of see and take a look at what I was finding. It wasn't much. I wasn't there that long, because how many times have I been to Joann's? I know the store inside and out, so there's really nothing new to look at other than seeing if there's some new yarn. Well, we've just pulled up in front of Joann's for another fun trip down the yarn section and whatever else we can find, because they've got a 60% off coupon today. And anybody that knows me knows I like my coupons for Joann's and Hobby Lobby and Michael's. So if there's a coupon, that's when you go. So anyway, let's head on inside and we're going to see what's going on, and then we're going to head over to Starbucks and grab a coffee and sit and work on a project. now that we've had our trip to Joann's, looked at some yarn, some things, let's get down to something kind of fun. I am in the middle of a knitting project that I started about a week ago, I guess, maybe 4 days ago. And it's a shawl. It's another one of my original designs. However, I'm still new to designing with knitting. So I'm going to share that with you, and I may do a tutorial on it when it's finished. We'll see how it comes out. But I want to show it to you, and I want to show you the stitch book. As I had mentioned in the first video, stitch books is something that I was used to with crocheting, and again, not so much for stitches as I was the pattern books, but I've now acquired several knitting stitch books and a couple more crochet ones that I had seen reviewed on other YouTube channels, and so ordered them off Amazon and started looking through them. So we'll do some book reviews on those for those of you that aren't familiar with them. But this one particular book, I found a stitch in there that I liked. And the thing with stitch books is you can have, as I said, the same stitch could be in 5 different books, and in a lot of cases the stitch will have a different name. Like they'll just call the stitch something different. And so I don't know what this particular stitch is called in the other books, if whatever books it is in. But anyway, I found a stitch that was a 4-row repeat. It looked simple, it looked easy, and I said, you know what, I can take that stitch, I can combine it with the other knit stitches that I know, the garter stitch, and do some border work and whatever, and kind of create my own thing and do several repeats of this little stitch pattern. And to me, the reason I mentioned that the name might be changed from book to book that the stitch might be in, they call it one stitch, right, by name. I looked at the picture in the book and it reminded me of a tree trunk with a couple of branches, maybe in the fall, maybe in the winter, where there's no leaves on the branches. And so I then retitled it for my project and called it Fall Branches. So the project that I'm working on will be titled Fall Branches Shawl, or the Fall Branches Shawl, whichever. But anyway, so I will be back in a second with the book. I'll show you the picture and go over the stitch with you. I might even read you the introduction from the book because it's very inspiring, and then I'll share the project with you. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and let's go over this book. This is the 750 Knitting Stitches, the Ultimate Knit Stitch Bible. And I've been through it a few times since I bought it, and it's a wonderful book. So I'm not doing a complete book review on it, but I do want to read the opening acknowledgement to you, the introduction. And it says, whether you're a knitting novice who is picking up a pair of needles for the first time, or a seasoned professional with years of experience, you will find inspiration and technical know-how within these pages. There is always something to learn and to pass on. The book is divided into 5 sections. So that being said, we'll just kind of thumb through this a little bit. It shows you about buying yarn, other useful equipment. It has instructions for basic knitting stitches. As you can see, binding off, purling stitch, decreasing, increasing. And one thing it does have, I don't know if you can see it, I'll move it over, is these little helpful tips down at the bottom. And they're very, very helpful. I read through a few of them, and make sure this is in the camera. I was just very pleased. It's completely full of all kinds of stitches. What I was talking about earlier, how this may say framed cross cable, that particular stitch may be in another book, but with a different name. So anyway, they also give you the chart. So you have the written pattern as well as the chart. Now the stitch I wanted to show you that I'm using in my design is right here, and it is the Forgotten Panel. Now a lot of crocheters, especially seasoned crocheters, have their favorite stitches, and a lot of seasoned knitters whom I have followed for over the last 2 years mention forgotten stitches, that they love them. So I was looking through this and not familiar, and again, this may be called something different in a different book, but you can see the pattern. Let's see if I can put it up closer for you to the camera, give you a closer look at the picture. Okay, and see what I was talking about? It looks to me like a tree with barren branches. So for my project, I'm calling it the fall branches. Okay, and you could use that for a scarf. I'm doing a shawl with it, and I'll show you that in a minute. And so it's very simple to follow. It's a 4-stitch, 4-row repeat, not 4-stitch, 4-row. It's worked over 9 stitches, so it takes 9 stitches to make the pattern. And it is on a background of stockinette stitches. Stockinette, which is where you knit on the front and purl on the back. So you could probably put it on a background of garter stitch, whichever you would like. I'm doing sort of a mixture of both, as you'll see. Anyway, it's row 1 is very simple, row 2 simple. I mean, it's basically a very simple stitch. So what I did is I took this stitch and I incorporated it with some other knitting stitches that I've become familiar with and am making the shawl. So let me grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, all right. So before I bring out the project and show you, the yarn that I'm using, I found this about a month ago, and I said, well, I love the color and I love the yarn. What can I make with it? Well, anyway, it is by Yarn Inspirations. It is Bernat Baby Sport. You can see that. I'll hold up a little closer. And it is in the colorway of, where's the colorway? We're going to find it. Somewhere is the colorway. Baby Taupe is the colorway. Okay? And it is a number 3 light. It calls for 4mm or size 6 knitting needles or a US G or number 6 crochet hook. Anyway, Bernat Baby Sport. That was the main part of the shawl. I'm starting from the bottom up. And then I decided, when I was at the store a few days after I started this, I decided that once I got past my repeats of the pattern that I wanted to do, I would like to add some contrasting color to it. So I found Lion Brand, and by the way, both Lion Brand and Yarn Inspirations are not affiliated with this video. I'm not being sponsored, but I do like to mention the brand of yarn that I'm using in case you want to do the same project or similar. When we do the tutorials, you can find the exact yarn. So this is Lion Brand Ice Cream, okay? And this is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 394 yards, 100% acrylic. It calls for, it's a number 3 light. It calls for a number 5 knitting needles or an H 5mm crochet hook. But it's these wonderful colors of the taupe and the tan, and it just goes really beautifully with this. So now, that being said, let me show you. We're still on the needles. We're still connected. This is what, I'm just going to pull out a portion of it because it's very long, and you can see it on the camera. All right, so we start out, let's get the tails out of the way and open it up the way it's supposed to be so you can see. This is quite long. I cast on 299 stitches to do as many pattern repeats as I wanted. So we have the border, which is done in garter stitch. So every row is knitted, front side, back side, this is knitted. Then I have my stockinette background, like the pattern called for the stitch to be on a stockinette background. Then we have the pattern, which what I decided to do was I did the pattern twice, and then I did a row of knit and a row of knit coming back. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to go a little ways up and I'm just going to work in garter stitch. And so working in garter stitch, except for the border, well, that's still garter stitch, knit on both sides. And as you can see, the color change, let me hold it up here for you. I don't know if you can see this or not, where I'm adding the Lion Brand Ice Cream, how you got the white in there, and it's starting to change colors, but this is quite long. It goes on and on. Anyway, so that is a project that's underway. Leave me comments in the comment section if you would like to see a tutorial on this. I'm not planning on making another full complete one, but I will do up a sample in the tutorial so you can see how to work it up if you're a beginning knitter. If you're a seasoned knitter, you're going to love this. It's so simple to do, breezed right along. And anyway, so I'm back with you. And as you can see, I was working outside today because it was another nice day, so I decided to do the video out here, and it's starting to get dusk. So got a little light on the subject, and hopefully you could see that well. I'm sure you could. Let me know what you think so far. Again, I welcome any and all suggestions, tips, comments. And again, go to the About Me page and you'll learn a lot more about me than I shared in the first video as far as details, you know, of my crocheting experience over the years and knitting. As well as at the very bottom, again, there's a link to my Etsy page. And I've got a pretty good starting inventory on there, and I figured I better do that because the holidays are coming up, and you know, you never know when the Christmas shoppers are going to come busting through the door looking for that special. And you know, for talking about the holidays, if you do visit my Etsy shop, for any of you who have seen and remember the original, not the remakes, but the classic holiday movie Miracle on 34th Street with Natalie Wood and Maureen O'Hara, if you remember that, you'll remember the scene in there where Santa Claus is having a job at Macy's, and which is, he's the real Santa Claus, but they don't believe him, right? So one of the things that he does while he's there is, if Macy's didn't have what the shoppers were looking for, he would tell them to go to Gimbel's. He would send them to the other store, which was the competitor store, but if they had it, he wanted to make people happy. And so the management of the store got word of that and were upset about it. But when the owner of Macy's found out, he loved the idea because it was bringing in business and lots of people were coming back to Macy's. So that part of it was good. The better part of it was the giving part, that people were being referred to go where they could get what they wanted if Macy's didn't have it, which I think all department stores should still do that to this day. Anyway, so on that note, if I don't have in my Etsy shop what you're looking for, you can send me an email, and the email for both YouTube questions, anything, if you don't do it in the comments, my email is theneedlinghooker@gmail.com. Feel free to let me know if you're looking for something specific that I don't have in my Etsy shop. And I don't know a lot of the other Etsy shop owners, but I've gotten to know some of them, you know, not know them personally because they probably don't even live in the same town I do, but I might be able to refer you to someone that sells the type of item that you're looking for, where then you could go to their shop and peruse and find exactly what you like. So anyway, on that note, Macy's, if you're listening, might think about that. I know Gimbel's doesn't exist anymore, but you know, especially in New York City, there's a lot of other stores on Fifth Avenue. If Macy's doesn't have it, they should be sending you up the street, even if it's not to Gimbel's. But anyway, talk to you guys later. Thank you again for coming back. Thank you for tuning in. I've enjoyed sharing with you and talking with you, and I look forward to more of our visits together. And I'm really looking forward to getting started with some tutorials with everyone, especially the new beginner crocheters and knitters. Also, send me any pictures, and along with your name, of projects that you have done, crocheting or knitting. And if you want to tell a little bit about it, that's fine. But email me some pictures with especially just your name. You know, first, last name is not important unless you wish to include that. If you want to include where you're from, that's fine. And then I will collect them and put them in a folder. And then down the road, I'm going to be putting together picture showcases, showcasing, you know, people's talent from around the country, maybe even around the world. So I thought that might be something kind of fun. So tune in again. And once again, I'm Tom, and thank you for watching The Needling Hooker. See you next time. Happy needling and happy hooking.